everyone, you're watching Eloisa Vlogs and this is vlog number 2. We got to Albany at around 5 p.m, which was already sunset, so we just rushed to the Natural Bridge and the Gap. As you can see in the video, it was already pretty dark, so we just decided to check it out again the next day. It was still worth visiting though during sunset because you can see the orange sun and there's not much people. I think it was just the 2 of us from what I can remember. After spending the last 10 minutes of sunset at the Gap, we went to look for dinner and we found this Japanese fusion restaurant. This restaurant was very cute. We enjoyed its atmosphere and food. They had a selection of seating, so they had couches and then they had low and high chairs that we could choose from. And I don't think I've seen one like this in Perth. So what I got for dinner was unagi don. So unagi is Japanese for eel. And then Andre got the steak don. So these meals also come with miso soup. And we also got some extra spring rolls. And we got 2 bottles of soju, because why not? This daifuku was the best part of dinner. So it's tiramisu. Daifuku is basically mochi ice cream. And it's so good because it has like a creamy center inside as well. I rate it 10 out of 10. So it's day 2 and it's a day for sightseeing. This was also our last day at Albany and the checkout was at 10 a.m. So we had to make sure that the apartment was clean and tidy before we left. Our initial plan for the trip was to spend 2 days for sightseeing, but because we arrived late the first day, we only got to one spot, which was the Gap. So we just had to fit everything in day 2 and get to as many sites as we could. During our last visit to Albany, which was back in May when we went to Bluff Knoll, we didn't really get to explore the city centre much because we just didn't have the time and we were already exhausted from the hike. So our first stop is breakfast and then off to the wind farm. Even though we thought that we didn't have much time, we actually got to fit everything in one day. And we got to visit 8 spots in total. So for our trip, we decided to make it as a loop. So we started from the main city and then down to Albany Wind Farm and then to the right and then just take a loop back to the city. Now we're going to Albany Wind Farm, which is just 13 minutes from the city. So the first thing that you see when you enter the wind farm is this really big wind turbine. And it was pretty cool because you actually get a chance to climb it up and see it up close. So the first thing that you see once you go into the wind farm is the big windmill that you can climb up. And then as you go further along, this is where you'll see the hundreds of other windmills. And these windmills are just scattered all over, and it actually looks really nice. The trees were so green, the landscape was so green, and then on the other side you could see the ocean. It just looked like you were in a movie. The vlog doesn't do it justice. The view is just spectacular.
Why is it so scary? So scary.
So we now continue to go down south, which is stop number 2, Cable Beach, which is just 17 minutes away from the wind farm.
Take my hand and hold it tight. Look at
So to get a better view of the beach, you had to go down some steps. And at the end of the steps was these big boulders. And it was too risky to go there, so we just stayed at the steps and then just zoomed in with our cameras. Stop number 3, back to the Gap and the Natural Bridge. This time during the day. I was actually too scared to go to the Gap and actually record, so it was Andre recording this. When we went to the blowholes, we didn't really know what to expect or what they looked like. We thought they would look like water shooting up, but as we walked, like a 20-30 minute walk, we didn't really see anything. But that's okay, at least we had some physical activity. And we saw this cute magpie.
You and I are the same. Ain't a thing that can change us. We're just riding a wave. Play the game, but it played us. No sleep, you got your eyes wide open.
So this is the area where the blowholes were supposed to be seen, but we didn't see any. Would have been really nice to see one, but there's always a next time.
We just ran, so it's harder to own it. So if it helps you,
We didn't really plan on going to this lookout, but it was close by, so we just checked it out and we weren't disappointed. We really think this spot is a hidden gem. I don't think a lot of people know this spot because they usually just go to the most popular places like the Gap and the Natural Bridge. This lookout would be really worth a visit. This is now our last stop down south of the city centre. So this is Peak Head. There wasn't really that much interesting stuff here, just the big rock formations. It was pretty boring. Now going back up north, which is stop number 7 at Sharp Point.
I guess you can see the island better.
Hi there.
As we headed back to the city centre, we realised it was still quite early. It was around 4 p.m. and we thought we could still fit one more spot before sunset. So we went searching in Google Maps and found the lighthouse ruins, which wasn't too far away from the city. From this point, we had to walk to the lighthouse ruins. The walk to the lighthouse ruins took us around a 45-minute round trip. It was pretty exhausting, especially when you see other people pass by jogging or on their scooters. We just couldn't keep up with that. There was a lot of pressure for both me and Andre to actually finish this walk because the weather started becoming cloudy and we didn't have any umbrellas with us, so we were worried that it was gonna rain and we were gonna get drenched.
Ooh, is that a whale? Yes. Always wanted to know, yeah, but I ain't really know. I ain't know if I was ready, but you're still accepting me, for me, yeah. I ain't know if I was ready, but you're still accepting me.
So by the time we got to the ruins, it was already around 4:30 and it was getting dark. So we were kind of rushing to get back because we were just going to go back on foot. It was also getting cloudy and we were worried that it might rain, and we didn't bring any umbrellas with us.
Pabili po.
We got through the walk back from the ruins without getting drenched and came to the city just in time for dinner.
can come in, right?
We didn't get to buy any souvenirs because we forgot to go to the visitor center, and the Anzac Center was also already closed by the time we got there.
We have the whole thing to ourselves.
Ooh, there's a piano. Anywhere.
For dinner, I got a salmon and Andre got steak.
Smile. Like from the thing that you like about That's Albany.
So there goes our Albany trip. We spent a day and a bit exploring. We got to see amazing sights and we really enjoyed our time. Hopefully next time we'll manage our time better and go to other sites like the Anzac Center and the whaling station. Thanks for watching. Till next time.